Good afternoon. This is Steve with Born Again Torinos, and I'm going to make a short little video about the Torino over there. But after that, I'm going to fly my drone. There's a big area behind my house that I can go fly in. But I absolutely love flying. Tons of fun. Well, we've got some progress to report and some good news. Here is the worst window, and I've got this angled. I've got it on my head, the GoPro, so I hope I'm shooting you correctly so you can see. This is how the window, I should show you the other side because it's how it should be. This lip right here, this is 20 gauge steel from the factory, and it has this lip, which is what I always weld in. And this is 20 gauge steel. I made my template to fit exact. And you notice how it fits flush. It's absolutely flush. So I can weld this in, and that'll be just wonderfully awesome. What do you think, Tony? Looks good, huh? There'll be no seam, there'll be no anything there. You won't know it's there. But it's the good stuff. But you see the seam there. And this is Ford's fault. And I've seen this before, where this second inner one wasn't welded in straight, and so it's got an overly large lip here and no lip on the upper side. And that's why that guy glued, and I did confirm it when I pulled those tabs off. He glued those tabs on to give it something to lay on when he glued that flimsy sheet metal on. And what I did was use 20 gauge steel, and I welded it on so it has something for me to weld onto. So now I have a backing for welding. So it's going to be stronger than factory because now it'll have a very thick seam in the middle of a big sheet metal area. Because with the normal non-opera window cars, it's very tinny, even right here. But when this is in there, it's a thud. It's a heavy thud. So that's going to save the day. And I just pushed out the Bondo he had in these trim holes. So anytime he was out at the store or anywhere else, someone could have pushed on those holes and made a row of holes in his car, because they weren't countersunk, so they have a very sharp edge, and they're not depressed a bit, concave and filled properly. I can't get behind them. So that's that progress. I'm really happy with that. And the nylon bushing here, I think it's nylon, these were missing, so the door, it was taped and the doors weren't closing right, so I put some factory originals on. So now it's just as tight as can be, no rattling, no nothing. Did both sides. This side needed to be shimmed, so it had the factory washers shimming it on both sides. This one needed a little extra shimmy, but it's very, very nice. And I should have made a note of what I wanted to talk about. I took the back seats out and the side panels because I took that dent out that was in here. So with my rubber mallet, took this crease out. It's not all fully out yet, but the majority is. So that's on its way to being done. What else was there? Oh, and when I put down the work that was done before, I'm not saying the guy was an idiot or anything like that. It's just not how I would have done it. And these panels here weren't even screwed in. They were just stuffed in. So And the seats were just set in. They weren't latched. See, he has the latches covered with carpet, so you can't even latch the seat. So we'll cut that out so the seat can properly be attached. And the back seat bolts in. That was not bolted in. We'll make sail panels for it. It's missing some stuff. It's missing, well, the windlass lace that goes here on both sides is not around. I don't think I have any extra, but that can be purchased from Dearborn Classics. Where's my... So, he's got one of these. He needs two. He's got one of these. He needs two. I might have these, but I'm going to have to spray them black. And I don't remember if I've shown you any of the work in the trunk, getting it cleaned up. And that's about it. I don't think I've... Oh, Tony has decided to replace the windshield, and then we'll have it put in correctly so all the trim pieces will snap on properly. That's a great idea. And I have a guy who does a really good job. He's an ex-Safelite employee, and he branched out and started his own business. And he did Torino 43. And I got to help him and watch and learn, and it was eye-opening and very well done. So he'll get a brand new windshield. And what else? I don't think there's anything else to say. Next steps, I guess I can say that. We'll weld in the new pieces and then grind the weld and clean it up. And I think I'll do a video then so you can see that process, see how that came out. And then the next step after that is this is going to get filler, and it'll go from here, this seam, all the way to here and across and up to here. That is going to be all filler. And then I board sand the entire length, and to where it'll find my high and low spots. Then we'll do it again and again and again until it is just glass smooth, and there'll be no trace of any repair. And it'll be awesome, because this is the star of the car. This right here is what is most recognizable, the curve and the stripe. And when that's wrong, everything's wrong, because this stripe is pretty bad. And his distances are all wrong. Okay, I think that's it. We'll end it there, and I'll go over and grab my drone. So if you want to be done talking about the car, you can sign off now. But let's see if I can get the drone up without running into a tree. And this is just I've never flown drones until this winter. I always wanted to, and my wife got me this one for Christmas from Costco. And it's a learner drone made by Propel. It's a Snap 2.0, and you just turn it on. You turn on the remote, and you sync it, and then you can do an auto takeoff. And see how it's crabbing to that side? You can trim it out. And that is on speed 1. If I push, well, let me get it leveled out. The slightest breeze, it's so light, the slightest breeze will push this thing around. Now, it's semi there. Let's trim it that way. Now, go forward to get this. Still wants to go. There we go. See, he wants to go the wrong way. Now, this is on the entry-level speed 1. That's 2. That's 3. Now it's... Yeah, there's a breeze pushing me around. I don't know if you can see it. I'm fighting a headwind. The neighbor has this big, huge field, so I have to fly over that. Look at it get pushed. I don't know if you can see it. The wind is just jerking it around. I'm trying to sit still. It's getting pushed, oh, dramatically. And bring her down. Okay, now. Well, that's 2 or 3 houses away. Oh, he just hit an updraft. Oh my goodness, the wind is just horrible. And it doesn't feel windy, but apparently where it's at is really pushing it. So you can use the axis to do yaw and pitch, so you can do controlled turns instead of just hovering and using the yaw. If I just use the yaw, he'll just pivot. If I use the directional stick, I can yaw and turn in a smooth arc. Well, he just got pushed to the ground by a gust of wind. But it's been a great drone to learn to fly. And you have to think multi-dimensional, because when he's going away from you, you turn one direction to do stuff, but when he comes at you, you've got to do it in reverse in your head. Yeah, it's still a gentle breeze, but it's enough to fight you. And you got to fight it to come down. I never knew that. I thought if you let off on power, it would just come down, but it doesn't. It stays. It has a barometer in it that tells it, so it knows altitude somehow by pressure. And it'll start flashing. It's got a red tail light and 2 headlights, LED lights. And whoa, whoa, whoa! We're down. See the headlights? They'll flash when the battery starts getting low, and this will run, oh gosh, like I don't know, 8-9 minutes. And I have 2 batteries, so you get plenty of flying in. But it's very light, and it folds up. These arms, if you just want to throw it in a, throw it in the car, so you don't want to break anything. I think I got that offer on. But you just fold this up, and these just lay against it, and so that protects it, and it just weighs almost nothing. Well, that's that. And if I get good enough, I'll move up. There's some others I'm looking at that have GPS and return to home and all that stuff, which could be fun. So I thought it'd be fun to film the cars when I'm done. So this has been Steve. Thank you for watching. This is Steve with Born Again Torinos, and I'll give you an update on the car soon. Thank you and good night.